Learn this graph and you'll get really good at reading personalities, quickly adjusting to them, connecting with them, and be more successful in the workplace. The D personality and the I personality, they're the extroverts. This S and C personalities, they are the introverts. The extroverts at the top and the introverts at the bottom. So let's talk about the extroverts. They're folks who tend to be glass half full, oftentimes referred to as type A personalities. They're very gregarious, they're very happy-go-lucky, and whenever they have an idea or they want to promote something, there's almost very little things that get in the way, and they use their enthusiasm and the sheer force of either charm or persuasiveness or excitement and energy to push things along. The one thing that extroverts tend to dislike the most is this: silence. This is why oftentimes whenever they ask somebody a question and the other person doesn't respond in a quick manner, like within 2 to 3 seconds, it's very common for the extrovert to jump into that space, that gap, and start either asking questions or read the stare that comes back and creates an awkward conversation. For example, did you like the workshop? The other person may pause for a second, and then the extrovert jumps in and says, well, you didn't like the workshop? And the other individual says, well, no, I didn't say I didn't like it. Well, I mean, so you liked it. Well, I mean, I don't know that I liked it. So you didn't like it? So it becomes very awkward because the extrovert jumps in to the space, the gap that's created in conversations, and they don't trust that. They don't like that silence. This is the one thing that frustrates the introverts a whole lot because extroverts are more comfortable with using words before they figure out when to get to the point. Introverts are not like that. Extroverts see themselves as change agents. They do not see themselves as creating conflict when they change things. What they view themselves as always wanting to improve things. Introverts, they don't like to start from yes whenever they're asked questions. They think about it because their starting point is one of maybe. The introverts, they tend to hear a question or hear a problem and they tend to pause. They want to process what the other person sees. It's a stare. They don't like to be outward with their emotions. They don't like to be outward with their opinions. They like to process. They like to think. This is the very thing that extroverts, they don't like. They don't like the stare. They misinterpret the stare as being one of judgment and one of disagreement. So the extrovert tends to crowd in the space. They answer the question for the extrovert, for the introvert, and the introvert realizes that I'm really not being asked a question here. I was asked a question, I was thinking about my answer, but then you answered it for me or you answered something totally different, and I can tell you're having a one-sided conversation, so I'm going to wait for all this to be finished because I don't know where you're going, so I'm just going to keep staring. Thus, the conflict starts early on in the conversation. The introvert, they value the essence of silence. The introvert likes to process things before they express their opinion. They don't like to throw comments and opinions without having thought through them, whereas the extrovert wants that kind of bantering, and they both interpret the different style as being conflict, so therefore it stalls ideas and it creates uncomfortable situations. The introverts view themselves as the kind of people that want to make sure that we measure twice but cut once, whereas the extrovert is willing to cut several times because we don't have time for the details of measuring twice or measuring often. So how do we learn how to align these things and become better at connecting with each other? It is the ability for us to recognize the power of 6 seconds. The extrovert, they do not want to give any silence, not even 3 seconds. The introvert, however, they don't like to talk in 2 to 3 second gaps. They like to take 5, 10, 15 seconds and have a calm conversation. Well, somewhere in the middle is the balance. The extrovert needs to learn how to ask questions and respectfully wait for the introvert to answer. The introvert needs to speed it up a little bit and learn how to banter a little faster. We use the 6 second approach. The extrovert has to calm things down to 6 second pauses and allow the introvert to speed things up so they can create banter. If both parties are willing to practice this, then usually conversations and discussions can happen because you're actually getting both parties to participate. The people over here, these two personalities, these are the people, whereas the folks over here are the people that are focused on results. The people are those that are focused primarily on things such as feelings and opinions and working better as a team and the environment. They believe that in order to get to business, we first have to be nice to each other. We have to be able to create an environment where it's courteous. We greet each other in the morning. We say hello. We say goodbye. To the I's and to the S's, people feelings and their emotions and the surrounding is very important. Relationships are a key factor in order for us to be able to work together. The D's and C personalities, they understand that people things matter, but what we really are here for is to get down to business. So we focus primarily on things such as results, performance. We got to make sure that we follow through and that everyone is doing things on a timely basis. The people on one side and the result-based people on the other is what creates yet another layer of conflict because they're both focusing on different things. So let's review real quickly. The two personalities at the top are the extroverts, and the two personalities at the bottom are the introverts. The two personalities on the right, they're the people, and the folks on the opposite side, they're the results-driven individuals. The D, the green personalities, because they're extroverts and because they're results-oriented, they tend to approach things in a very direct manner, and they tend to speak in terms of now. They are driven by action. They want others to act and to move things forward. They don't want to see things stalled, and they want to be approached directly and to the point. If they had a t-shirt, their t-shirt would say, "I'm not bossy, I just know what you should be doing." The S's, they focus because they're people and they are introverts. They don't focus on now, but they also don't focus on later. What they're primarily focused on is advance notice. They want to know what's coming down the pipeline so that I can prepare, so that I can think through it, so that I can ask all the questions. But if you catch me by surprise and you rush me, well, I'm probably just going to say, okay, fine. But this isn't really buy-in. So what the S usually wants is they want advance notice. The S is driven by processes. They want things to be clear ahead of time, and they want to be approached, and they want decisions and problems to be approached in a calm fashion. They do not trust, and they tend to be very leery of individuals or situations which require or are being handled in a rushed type of way when they pretty much have had the history with the extroverts that we've probably skipped over issues. We've skipped over details. We skipped over processes, and now I'm being rushed, and I have to make a decision. They don't appreciate that. If they had a t-shirt, their t-shirt would say, "Poor planning on your part should not constitute an emergency on my part." The I personality, because they're extroverts and they're also people, they tend to focus on enthusiasm. They believe that energy and enthusiasm is what helps create the sufficient movement to move things forward. They're driven by teamwork. They want energy in the room, and they want to be approached in a very friendly manner. If they had a t-shirt, their t-shirt would say, "Someday you'll love me as much as I do." The C personalities, they are introvert individuals, and they're very results-oriented. That means that they're very focused on accuracy. Details are very important to them. They understand the value of being called into meetings to discuss an idea or a project from 32,000 feet up in the air. They really are focused on making sure that we talk about data. The C personality, they're driven by doing what is right. They like to stay on point, focused, and they want others to likewise stay on point and focused. They like to approach others with facts and with data, and they want to be approached with facts and data. If they had a t-shirt, well, their t-shirt would be this. It'd be blank because a t-shirt's a t-shirt. You're not supposed to make it into a billboard. They're very matter of fact. That's not what a t-shirt's for. At the very top, you have the extroverts. At the bottom, you have your introverts. You have your people over here, and you have your results people over there. Remember that the dominants are always talking in terms of now. The I's are always speaking in terms of enthusiasm. The S's, they want advance notice, calming approach, and the C's, they're looking for details. The dominants, they want to speak fast. They want to move things fast. The I's, they want to be friendly. The S's, they want things calm. And the C's want to see things in an analytical way. I'm going to show you a real quick video for a few seconds. Then we're going to pause and allow you time to think about it and see if you can pick up on the personalities.
Me, I don't talk much. I just cut the hair.
Is this person an extrovert? Is this person an introvert? Is this person a people? Is this person results driven? What would you say? All right, this personality was an S. All right, let's look at the next one. Let's see if you can figure this one out.
We read and write poetry because we are members of the human race, and the human race is filled with passion.
Oh, Captain, my Captain. It's from a poem by Walt Whitman. Now, in this class, you can either call me Mr. Keating, slightly more daring, or Captain, my Captain.
Is this person an extrovert? Is this person an introvert? Is this person a people? Is this person results driven? This personality is an I personality.
As we know, the value of pi is a transcendental figure without resolution. The computer banks will work on this problem to the exclusion of all else until we order it to stop.
Yes, I should keep that thing busy for a while.
Is this person an extrovert? Is this person an introvert? Is this person a people? Is this person results driven? All right, good. If you said C, you got it correct. Now, of course, let's take a look at the final one and see if you can tell the difference.
Stay with you. What for? Look at us. We're already fighting.
Well, that's what we do. We fight. I'm not afraid to hurt your feelings. Would you stop thinking about what everyone wants? Stop thinking about what I want, what he wants, what your parents want. What do you want? What do you want?
It's not that simple.
What do you want?
This one's a lot easier to spot out because they tend to be very vocal and they make themselves pretty easily known. That was the dominant individual. So if you got it right, congratulations. And if you messed up, you didn't get them all correctly, hey, don't worry about it. It takes practice. So let's go ahead and take a look at the graph one last time and let's learn these characteristics. The extroverts are the dominants and the influentials. The introverts are the steadies and the conscientious. On the right-hand side, you have the people, the influentials, and the steadies. And on the opposite side, you have the dominants and the conscientious, and those folks are the results-driven person. The dominants speak in terms of now. The influentials speak in terms of enthusiasm. The S's, they speak in terms of advance notice. And the C's, they speak in terms of details, data, and analysis. So study this chart, print out the workbook, and learn how to read others better so you can make better connections and move things forward in a much more pleasant and professional conversation. So don't give up. You can do it. All it takes is practice, mastering the basics, and together we can win in the workplace. The only thing I have left to say now is thank you.